And I give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Thank you, Mr. President. Since the distinguished permanent representatives of Germany, in a major part of his statement was devoted to his personal dialogue with me, I would like to comment on that. The use of preventive diplomacy is excellent. Of course, it's better to prevent a crisis than to resolve it. But you have a very strange way that you're proposing of preventing this crisis by putting forward an absurd 8-day ultimatum. Some states didn't even need the 8 days to reject the recognition of the legitimate authorities of Venezuela. You completely disregard the sovereignty of Venezuela, imposing it on it decisions that you prefer, and rejecting its people the right to resolve their own problems by themselves. You're not calling for the political forces of Venezuela to find a common understanding in the interests of achieving internal peace and stability. You're calling the legitimate authorities to simply acknowledge their defeat and to transfer power to the opposition. What you're doing is not called prevention, it's called incitement. How would you feel if the Russian Federation proposed to discuss in the Security Council the issue of the situation in France and the protests of the Gilets jaunes, who just over the past weekend, some 22,000 people took to the streets? Would you consider that as prevention? I want to reassure the representative of France that we do not intend to propose such a issue. Now, unlike you, we're not trying to recognize or not recognize anyone. Although we recognize the legitimate authorities of Venezuela, we call on A, respect the legitimate authority; B, not to interfere into the domestic affairs of a country; C, not to impose on Venezuela solutions from outside, rather to help them resolve their problems peacefully themselves. Thank you.
My thanks to the representative of the Russian Federation for his statement.